Imagine yourself working a late shift. Just another night of welcoming guests and serving them with kindness and sincerity. Now imagine someone asks you where you're from and what your religion is. You respond honestly and you say, I am Muslim. Moments later, that same person walks out of the establishment, puts on brass knuckles, comes back into the establishment, this time with brass knuckles on, they jump the counter and they chase you into a room and they beat you so severely that your face is left unrecognizable. You suffer life-altering injuries and you will never be you again. That's not a story from a distant country or a dark chapter in history. This happened right here in Markham, Ontario. Today, we attended a press conference where community leaders, city officials, and advocates called for stronger hate crime enforcement, better protection for frontline workers, and greater accountability in how such attacks are handled.
I have seen Muslims across Canada be subjected to continuous attacks. This one just might be one of the worst. It is disgusting. And as Stephen was talking about what happened with our brother, it makes me sick to my stomach. I am out of words. I am frustrated. I feel at a loss. Trying to address this problem again and again and again. We cannot afford to remain silent. When will Canada realize that systemic changes are needed to protect our community from these acts of Islamophobic violence?
Standing here today, I feel heartbroken, angry, and exhausted. What happened to my father should have never happened. Most people can't imagine what it's like to see your father or your husband beaten almost to death. Most people don't know what it's like to look at his face and his body covered in injuries, hoping every single day that it would go back to normal. And I pray that no one will ever have to experience that kind of pain.
And I would just say that you have the support of the Muslim community, but the non-Muslim community as well, not just in Markham, but right across the GTA. And I think all of you have heard the details of this vicious attack. And I, like many of you, were shocked and deeply saddened that something like this happened.
In the midst of emotion and outrage, police confirmed that an active investigation is underway, with hate-motivated charges now being considered as a top priority. To better understand how this case is being handled, I spoke with a representative from York Region Police.
What I can tell you at this point, to add to what you've already heard, is that the suspect or the accused in this matter was arrested and charged shortly after the event occurred. We are rather in the process of speaking with our Crown Attorney now that we have a more fulsome appreciation of the nature and extent of the injuries, to look at what the appropriate elevated charge will be in these circumstances. Any incident of hate and violence and intolerance, it upsets me, it frustrates me. York Regional Police is firm in our position that we do not accept any forms of hatred or intolerance within our community. We have a very robust hate crime investigative unit and diversity, equity, and inclusion unit whose mission and focus is both education, prevention, and where necessary, enforcement of hate crimes in our community.
And for the Muslim community, in fact, communities all around, this incident has struck a deeply personal chord. The National Council of Canadian Muslims says that this is not an isolated event, but part of a concerning rise in hate incidents nationwide.
Oh, ya Allah, my sentiments after this. Man, why are we doing this again? Like, time and time again, I'm seeing you guys, I'm doing these interviews over again after the most horrific, violent Islamophobic incidents we can ever see. Every single time, it's a Muslim person that is going through the worst case scenario, whether it's they're losing their life of a family in London, to what we have been seeing just in the past few months in Oshawa, in Ajax, in Newmarket, to this, which is one of the most gruesome attacks, where a man who was just working his job at night, providing for his family like we all do, gets completely abused, his skull shattered, his eye sockets bludgeoned, his jaw broken, his nose broken, his teeth broken, just because he's Muslim. So what are our sentiments? It's frustration, it's sadness, and it's anger that just because he was Muslim, this is what's happening. And this right now, as I said in my statements, this is a darkness that we're so into that we allow to let live and grow in our community. And it's something that we as a community have been sleeping for. And we need to start to speak out, and it's enough of being silent.
This attack has shaken the Markham community and serves as a painful reminder that no one should ever be targeted for their faith. The victim continues to recover from serious, life-altering injuries. A verified LaunchGood fundraiser has been set up to help with medical and recovery costs. You can find the link in our bio or the description below. You're watching GTM Muslims Today. I'm your host, Moiz Rahman.